I'm going to say they can't, Cam. I know you got them at 2. I got them at number 1. I think the New York Jets last year, I said it all year long, but if they had an average quarterback or just average quarterback play, they're in the playoffs. That defense is one of the best in the NFL, if not the best. It is incredible. I mean, just what they've been able to build. And I think, when you look at just how McCagnon had them, not looking very good. Joe Douglas steps in as GM, and he's just completely changed everything for them. Jeff Ulbrich gets to deal with a lot on that defense. I mean, you talk about, rookie of the year, defensive. They had 2 rookie of the years. Defensive rookie of the year, Sauce Gardner, who just completely sets the tone in that secondary. He makes it easier for the pass rush to get to the quarterback. You have him playing off of, or rather the other guy playing off of him, who's no slouch himself. Definitely, I would say a top 15 corner in DJ Reed, who's just kind of been passed around like he's not worth something, even though he is. Michael Carter II is also, very solid. And then you have Jordan Whitehead, a guy from Tampa, very good player. He can hit. He's an enforcer. They also went out and got Adrian Amos. Now, here's the thing that sucks is they went out and they traded a late round pick to go out and get Chuck Clark. Loved that move. Chuck Clark tore his ACL. So Amos was a late signing, but he did get in before training camp, so he's going to be integrated and everything in that. You also have Ashton Davis. The hope is the 3rd round pick from 2020 is going to able to, develop in some way. It is more of a 3-safety league like we talk about, so there still could be a role for him. They like Sherwood. They like CJ Mosley and Quincy Williams as their 3. I'm going to say my sleeper is Chaz Surratt. He is a guy that kind of chilled on their practice squad last year, former 3rd round pick out of UNC. This is somebody that I think he has the potential to be that next man up or start in some capacity. They spent a little bit extra on him on that practice squad to keep him. So I always look at stuff like that. I know they also got Zaire Barnes, but I like him. Will McDonald, I don't have to say anything here. If you guys have been following us, we love Will McDonald. I thought the pick was great at 15. I think you get somebody who can play right away. You have Carl Lawson, John Franklin Myers. You got, Jermaine Johnson, last year's 1st round pick. So the defense is littered with talent. Quentin Williams just signed that contract. You got Quentin Jefferson, who I think is underrated interior defensive lineman, as well as Solomon Thomas. A lot to work with on the defense. I didn't even mention Bryce Huff, who I think is a stud. So then you look at the offense, and you're like, okay, well, you got Garrett Wilson, you got Alan Lazard, you got Mecole Hardman, who I'm really excited to see those 2 on like a new team. Like at least Mecole Hardman, because it's weird. While I think he could have thrived with Patrick Mahomes, he just never was utilized the way he should have been. So Hardman, Lazard, Wilson is coming off his offensive rookie of the year season. They still have Corey Davis. They have Randall Cobb. And the big one here, they got Aaron Rodgers. So Breece Hall was leading the league before he tears his ACL last year in rushing, and he's back. Michael Carter, Israel Abanikanda, Zonovan Knight. They got guys all over the place. Tyler Conklin, CJ Uzama, guys that have experience. I mean, especially Uzama playing in the Super Bowl with the Bengals. The biggest concern I think people have right now is with the offensive line, because they're a little unproven. It's like a mixture, right? So we don't know what's going to happen at left and right tackle. There's a chance they can move Mekhi Becton to left tackle. There's a chance they're going to stick with Dwayne Brown, who's only played left tackle for his career. So let's just assume that's the case. Laken Tomlinson's coming off a bad season, Cam. It was bad. He is somebody that adds some veteran leadership. He comes from the 49ers, so you bring over that culture with Saleh, but he did not work out last year, so he needs to step up in a big way. They go out and they got Tippmann, who you and I both like, Joe Tippmann in the draft. 2nd round, beautiful pick. I think he starts right out of the gate. Connor McGovern either starts, who was a top 10 center last year, in my opinion, or he's going to be a really, really high priority backup. And then you have Elijah Vera Tucker, who can play all over the line of scrimmage, essentially. 1st round pick in 2021, and Mekhi Becton. So this Jets team is just loaded. It's just loaded from top to bottom. The offensive line, I really don't think is as bad as some people are saying. They got Schweitzer, they got Max Mitchell, they got Carter Warren, who is somebody I think you brought up. They have so much talent. Billy Turner started a bunch of games in the NFL. I'm just not really worried about any level because Aaron Rodgers, had probably his worst season in years last year. But, the Packers didn't make the playoffs. I mean, it wasn't good in Green Bay. Before that, he won back-to-back MVPs. I don't think he fell off a cliff, Cam. I think he's coming back with a vengeance, and I think the Jets are going to get at least some sort of that MVP back-to-back Aaron Rodgers, and if that's the case, it's a wrap, as they say.
Yeah. I got a couple things for you, Jake. I got 4 things for you, maybe 3. One, it's going to be interesting to see how Aaron does this year. Similar to Tom Brady. Tom Brady came back, went to the Buccaneers, won a championship his first year. The first couple of games was a struggle. Then they got on the same page. So I'm curious, can Aaron Rodgers get on the same page with his coordinator, with the team, straight out the gate? What does that look like? Jake, well, I will say that the reason why I have them third is I think the second year for Aaron, that's when he's going to find success. His first year, I'm not so sure. Second thing, Jake, is the Jets have Robert Saleh. Let's not overlook that. Coming from the 49ers, finding his way to the Jets, he's turned that jet all the way around. That plane is now flipped around, going in the right direction. So I don't want to overlook that. A lot of times when teams do well, they do bad. I know the quarterback is the first person to look at, but you got to look at the head coach. You got to look at the coordinators first. Then you look at the quarterback, and I think that's how things should go. Robert Saleh, he's the guy for the job, and